In this tutorial video, I will explain some topics from chapter Euclid's Geometry. So, watch the complete video. Let us see the very first topic of this chapter. Axioms. Self-evident true statements used throughout mathematics and not specifically linked to geometry are called axioms. We can understand the definition of axioms by their examples. So first of all, we will consider Euclid's axioms. So the very first axiom is things which are equal to the same thing are equal to one another. Let us take an example. Suppose the value of x is equals to 5, means x is equals to 5, and second statement we are having y is also equals to 5. So here we can observe that things which are equal to the same thing, here 5 and 5 both are equal. So according to this axiom, things which are equal to the same thing are equal to one another. Since x and y both are equal to the same thing, that is equals to 5, hence we can say that x and y both are equal. It means that x is equals to y. Now let us see the second example. If equals are added to equals, the wholes are equal. For example, suppose x is equals to y. Then if we are adding 5 in LHS, means if we are adding 5 in x and same thing we are adding in y also, means y plus 5. Let us see the examples. If equals are added to equals, here x and y both are equal and we are adding equal thing, means 5 and 5 both are equal and we are adding these two 5s in the equals. If equals are added to equals, the wholes are equal. Hence we can say that x plus 5, the sum of x plus 5 will be equals to the sum of y plus 5. Now let us see the third axioms. If equals are subtracted from equals, the remainders are equal. Again we can consider the same case. If suppose x is equals to y, and suppose if we are subtracting 2 from x and 2 from y also, then the difference of these two must be equal. If x and y both are equal and we are subtracting the equal things from them, then the difference must be equal. Now the fourth axiom, things which coincide with one another are equal to one another. Suppose we are taking the example of a coin of 1 rupee. Okay, after that again we are taking one more coin of rupees 1. Since both the coin will coincide with one another, hence both are equal. If suppose we are taking the another example, suppose there is a line segment whose measurement is 3 centimeter. One more line segment I am taking, and suppose the measurement of this line segment is also 3 centimeter. Then both the line segment will coincide, means if we are placing one line over the another line, then both will coincide. Now the next axioms, the whole is greater than the part. It means that suppose we are considering a circle, suppose this is a circle and we are considering the part of this circle also. Suppose this is the part of this circle. So here we can observe that whole is greater than the part. This circle is whole, this is the whole, and this is the part of the circle. So this whole is always greater than part. Now the next axiom is things which are double of the same things are equal to one another. Now let us consider a number 6. The double of 6 will be equals to 12. Again we are taking the double of the same thing, that is equals to 12. So here it is given that things which are double of the same things are equal to one another. Since 12 is the double of 6 and this 12 is also the double of 6, hence these two are equal. Similarly, if suppose I have considered y, if we are finding the double of y, then that will be equals to 2y, and here also the double of y will be equals to 2y. So again from the same axioms, things which are double of the same thing are equal to one another. So 2y is a double of y and this 2y is also double of y, hence 2y is equals to 2y. Now the next axiom is things which are halves of the same things are equal to one another. Suppose I have considered x. The half of x will be equals to x upon 2. One half of x is also equals to x upon 2. So according to this axioms, things which are halves of the same thing, this is the half of x, this is also the half of x, are equal to one another. They are equal, means x upon 2 will be equals to x upon 2. Next topic is postulates. Self-evident true statements used throughout mathematics, and they are specifically linked to geometry, are called postulates. There are 5 postulates of Euclid's. All the 5 postulates of Euclid's are as follow. So let us see the very first one. A straight line may be drawn from any one point to any other point. For example, suppose we are having a point A, second point suppose we are having B, then we can draw a straight line passing from these 2 points. Now the next postulate is a terminated line can be produced indefinitely. Means if suppose this is the terminated line, this line can be extended either side, means this side can be extended towards the right side and this side can be extended towards the left side indefinitely, means there is no end of the line, we can extend it according to our requirement. Now the next postulate is a circle can be drawn with any center and any radius. And the fourth postulate is all the right angles are equal to one another. As we know, the right angle is equals to 90 degree. So all the 90 degrees are equals to one another. All the right angles are equal to one another. The last postulate is if a straight line falling on two straight lines makes the interior angles on the same side of it taken together less than two right angles, then the two straight lines, if produced indefinitely, meet on that side on which the sum of angles is less than two right angles. It means that suppose we are having two straight lines. Suppose this is the very first line and this is the second line. and one straight line is falling on these two straight lines. Suppose the name of this line is L, the name of this line is M, the name of this line is A. Here L and M are not parallel, because in this postulate it is given that if a straight line falling on two straight lines makes the interior angles on the same side of it taken together less than two right angles, means suppose the sum of these two angles are equals to less than 180 degrees. Suppose the measurement of this angle is A, the measurement of instead of A we can take X. Suppose the measurement of this angle is, we can erase this, now suppose the measurement of this angle is X and measurement of this angle is Y. So the sum of X plus Y is less than 180 degrees. X plus Y is less than, X plus Y is less than 180. So according to this postulate, once again I can go through, if a straight line falling on two straight lines makes the interior angles on the same side of it taken together less than two right angles, then the two straight lines if produced indefinitely, means if we are producing these two lines, then meet on that side on which the sum of angle is less than two right angles. If we are producing these two lines, then they will meet at a point. Now the next topic is statements. A sentence which can be judged to be true or false is called a statement. If suppose I am taking the example of the sum of angles of a quadrilateral is 360 degree, then we can say that this statement is true. So those statements which can be judged either to be true or false, that type of sentence is termed as a statement. Next topic is theorems. A statement that requires a proof is called a theorem. Let us see the example. As we know, the sum of angles of a triangle is equals to 180 degree, but we needs to prove it. Next topic is corollary. A statement whose truth can be easily deduced from a theorem is called its corollary. The next topic is collinear points. Three or more than 3 points are said to be collinear if there is a line which contains them all. Means if suppose I have considered point A, second point B and the third point C. If a straight line consider all the 3 points, then we can say that these 3 points are collinear. Let us see. Since a straight line is passing from these 3 points, hence we can say that point A, B and C are collinear points. Now the next topic is intersecting lines. Two lines having a common point are called intersecting lines. Let us consider a line. Suppose the name of this line is L and another line, that is M. Since these two lines are having a common point, that is called A, that's why we can say that these two lines L and M are intersecting lines. Now the next topic is concurrent lines. Three or more lines intersecting at the same point are said to be concurrent lines. Let us take the example of the very first line. Suppose the name of this line is A. Second line, suppose the name of this line is B. Third line, Suppose the name of this line is C. So here we can observe that all these three lines A, B and C are passing from the same common point, that is A. Means all are intersecting at a common point. Hence these lines are termed as concurrent lines. Now the next topic is plane. A plane is a surface such that every point of the line joining any 2 points on it lies on it. Let us consider a plane, and suppose there are 2 points on this plane, point A and point B. Since from these 2 points we can pass a straight line, hence we can say that this is a plane. But whenever we will talk about the curved surface, suppose let us see, this is the curved surface. The first point is here while the second point is here. Then we can never draw a straight line passing through these 2 points. Now the next topic is parallel lines. Two lines L and M in a plane are said to be parallel if they have no point in common. Means suppose we are having a line L, second line that is M. If suppose they are not intersecting at any point, means they are not having any common point, then they are said to be parallel lines. In another word, we can say that the distance between two parallel lines always remains the same. It means if we measure the distance at this point and at this point, then the distance of these two must be equal.